Hi, Queens. Sam here. So I was I was kind of like thinking, I'm like, what will be a fast track way to financial freedom? What will need to happen for anyone to fast track their way to financial freedom? And I came I came up with three, I guess, three things that I feel like will need to happen for someone to fast track their way to financial freedom. So financial freedom for me is essentially that you do not have to work anymore. The money that you need for your living expenses, you have that, whether it's coming from a business, from your dividends, anything, royalties, you name it, and you can really live the life that you want. You don't have to hold back on nothing. You walk into a store, you want to get that $2,000 back, you get that $2,000 back, just to give an example. So you're not like, okay, well, if I get the pack now, how long it's gonna take me to repay it or anything like that. You don't have that. You just go, you get what you need, you live the life you want. For me, it's financial freedom. Freedom. Okay, so one thing that I do believe will fast track your way to financial freedom is that for you to be a high income earner. I'm not saying that if you are not a high income earner, you cannot reach financial freedom, but being a high income earner will help you. What do I call a high income earner? For me, a high income earner will be someone who's making a minimum two times to three times, the median salary. So let's say when you look at your age category and then you look at the median, I'll say if you make like two times, or, two, three times that salary, I think we can consider you as, a high income earner. Granted, you can be a high income earner, but if you live in a high cost of living city, that was going to be very difficult for you, but it is still a good start. Being a high income earner is already a good start for you to make that money, and then you have to figure out how you're gonna manage your expenses so you can have plenty of money left once your bills and everything are paid, and then you get to invest that money and start living in a compound interest work for you. So first way, um, a high income earner to fast track your route to financial freedom. The second way is getting a partner, ideally another high income earner. Listen, I'm not telling you to go out there and partner with anyone just because they're high income earner, because you want to fast track your way to financial freedom, because that could go one way or the other. You need to be very diligent in choosing the right person, because guess what? Actually choosing the wrong person is could be a financial disaster, right? So you don't want that. If you happen to find the person for you, and that person is a high income earner and you're a high income earner, you guys are combining forces. You are combining forces. You're like a power couple, and you're going to be tackling, the way to financial freedom together, because you're probably going to be having your biggest expenses. You get to share your housing, your transportation, your food, anything that is a lot of money, that is considered a lot of money. You guys will put your resources together and then pay that together. I've heard of so many couple who are today financial independent slash financially free. And for many, many years they were living on one income and saving slash investing the entire other income of a high income earner. Can you imagine, like hundreds and hundreds of thousands every year being just shoveled into saving and investing? 10, 15 years of doing that and you're good, you're set for life. If you happen to work, that's really because you want it, not because you have to. Like homegirl here who needs to go back to work, though her mind is like, how do I not go back to work? Okay, that's like a side discussion. I'm just gonna park that for now. But again, being able to have another person that you partner with who is a high income earner, you guys will have dual income, and and really being able to work together to really achieve that financial freedom goal. Then the third thing, and hold on, I have three. I have three. The third thing that could fast track your way to financial freedom is to not have any kids. And Like I said, if this is the first video that you're watching from me, don't go crazy in the comments. I have 3 kids and I love them to death. Though I knew even before having kids it's going to be a financial commitment, I'll do it again and again any day. But having kids costs money. That's just the reality of things. And I was watching a CNBC video where they were talking about what we call DINK, DINK, so dual income no kid, to talk about the couples, potentially higher income earner couples who decide to not have kids. And at the end of the day, those type of couples are the one who can really build financial freedom quickly, because I think that was in that video. The video was called, and then I'll tell you why Americans are going child free. And I'll put a link to that video in the description below. But in the video, I believe it was in that video where they were saying that the cost of a child per year is 17,000. I'm not sure how they came up with that money. And again, that was a study done for the US, I mean Canada. But you know what? I'll take that as a representation because we're not that far. A lot of things are very similar. Daycare costs a lot of money. Everything is quite similar except maybe healthcare and whatnot. But a lot of couples are deciding to go child free because it is money. So except you really, really wanted, if that was, something that you so wanted, like me here, I always wanted to have kids. That was something that I do believe that, at the end of my life, if I didn't have kids, I would strongly regret that. So the money aspect was not taken in consideration here. It was not, oh, let me crunch the number and see how much each kid will cost me. And then, if I see myself in the red, then I'm not going to go ahead for it. I just like, I'm going ahead for it. We'll figure it out as we go. But then again, I knew that I was in a good position. I was a few years from Coast 5, which I reached last year, right? So for me, it's just a matter of how do I make sure that I can handle my living expenses at this point, because my retirement is already secured at this point. So I don't have that weight of essentially, am I going to have a good retirement? I know that I'm going to have a good retirement. It's just in the middle part that I need to figure out now, and I will figure it out. That's fine. So, and I remember tea time. Let me tell you a story. Tea time. Um, my financial independence accountability partner. You guys know I'm big on accountability partner. I'm not here rah 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 about accountability partner. I have accountability partners for a lot of things that are really important in my life, and I've had my financial independence accountability partner probably 5 years now, 5 6 years, and we meet on a monthly basis. I think over a year, maybe we miss 1 or 2 meetings. We are very serious about it, and she has improved so much in her finances. I've improved so much in my finances, but we have two situation, personal situation different, because she has a partner. They're both high income earners. They're literally the DINK, DINK. And I'm single with 3 kids. And so for me, I guess that will be what, single income with kids. Sweet. I think I just put another acronym there. Yeah, so SWIG. I'm a SWIG. So anyway, so when I remember we were supposed to meet, we usually meet over the phone, but sometimes we meet also in person. And when I was pregnant with my twins, I ended up going to her place for one of our meetings because I also wanted to make soap, and she makes soap. I wanted to do something crafty. I'm not really a crafty person, but I'm trying sometimes to learn things. And so she was like, come over, we're gonna do our FI meeting, and at the same time, I'll teach you how to make soap. And so when I got there, and she hasn't seen me in person because we're always on the phone. When I got there, and then she saw my bell, she's like, Sam, come on, we're never gonna make it to financial independence if we keep on having kids. And we laughed because I was just like, of course, girl, I know that I'm making this whole thing more complicated for me. I'm literally making it, further in terms of goal and everything. I know that. And she's like, I'm gonna get it before you. You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, I know, girl. Like, come on. You have another person, another income. You guys are sharing expenses versus me with my income, which is really similar to hers, but I have all the expenses, everything. And on top of that, I have 3 kids. So I'm like, girl, I know. But there's one thing that I feel like it's an advantage for me because I'm looking forward to moving abroad. I'm not moving abroad just because I want a lower cost of living, but really because that's always been my dream, to travel the world and live in different parts of the world. So I want to make that happen. It just happened that added bonus of that is essentially me probably being in countries where cost of living is much affordable than Canada. So that's gonna help me. That's gonna help me versus her. I think she's planning on her family and her partner's family. They're all here in Canada. Probably she's going to stay in Canada and have a higher cost of living. So we'll see how that goes. But again, it's not a race. We're not racing. Okay, coming back to that was my tea time. That was my story that I wanted to share with you. Just to tell you that definitely, if you're going to be having kids, it's going to make it more expensive for you, and you might not reach. You're probably not going to reach financial freedom faster. So I'm not telling anyone out there to not have kids. Let's be clear again. This is those three ways. I'm saying I'm talking about them as from a financial perspective, but I know that decision we make is not always from a financial perspective, right? So if people were making rational decisions from a financial perspective, nobody will have kids, period. Nobody will have kids. It does cost money. It takes time away from things you want to do. But at the end of the day, it's a personal choice. It's more of an emotional choice and has nothing to do with financial. It has nothing to do with financial, from my perspective, at least. And I think, also the data says that. So just to recap, three ways to fast track, your journey to financial freedom. The first one is for you to be a high income earner. The second, get a partner, also a high income earner. And the third, guys, don't have kids. Don't have kids. And you will be there. You'll be there probably in half the time it takes for other people who have kids or who are not high income earner. But you need again to be able to manage your money well, because even if you're high income earner, you both are high income earner, but you don't have, and then you don't have kids, but you guys are spending like there is no tomorrow, and like ended up living paycheck to paycheck. That doesn't work, right? Because it's not so much in how much you make than in how much you keep, right? The how much you make is good if you can increase it and everything, but you need to make sure that at the same time you're increasing it, you're also increasing how much you are keeping and investing and saving. That's what's going to make it take you to financial freedom, not so much your salary. Because if you spend all of your salary, then what's the point, right? So that's where we see some people making 50,000 who are able to have like a very chunky portfolio versus people who are making like 100,000, and because they have a higher lifestyle, and so then they end up spending much more money and they don't keep that much, and then the portfolio is not that big. And those people, they're always counting on increasing their income as if that was the issue, when really it's really how they manage their money. So there you have it. You let me know. Are there any other ways to fast track a journey to financial freedom? What do you think of those ways that I just shared with you? Let me know in the comments below. By now you have already liked, you subscribed. I hope that you subscribe. Listen, if you have watched more than one video of me, you should be subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. As a matter of fact, that's not going to impact your journey to financial freedom. That's probably gonna help it. That's gonna help it. So just subscribe, subscribe, share as well, and hit the notification bell. And then I'm back tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about. Probably generational wealth. That's something that I've been thinking of in the past days. So that could be it. But if there is, I'm about to end this this 30 and 30. If there is any topic that you would have loved me to touch on that I didn't talk about, or maybe I talked about it, but you feel like it would be good to talk about it a little bit more, let me know in the comments as well. I will check them out and get back to you on it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and until tomorrow, keep on building wealth.